I have with me next Sanchayan Sinha, who's from Turiyam AI, which is a hardware inferencing company. Sanchayan, why don't you start with telling us what it is that you do, especially in the space of AI and GPUs?
Thank you so much. So at Turiyam AI, we're a hardware inference company focusing on inference. We are actually 10x in terms of better TCO compared to state-of-the-art chips that are over there. We believe, and it is proven also, that inference is going to be a much larger market than training. So think about it, the capex in training has been almost $1 trillion plus. You're possibly looking at 8 to 10 trillion on the inference side, right? That's the market we're looking for. That's the chips and the efficiency we're bringing in.
Okay, so you also, you must be dealing a lot with semiconductor chips and all of that. There is, of course, Prime Minister Modi. We have a huge plan on the semiconductor chip building sort of capabilities that we're building here in India. At the moment, how do you see that particular market here in India, or what sort of other markets or countries are you working with for sourcing of this?
Yes, so that's interesting because I think we got very excited with PM Modi's vision, and that's the reason why we headquartered this company out of India. The way I see the ecosystem developing and so fast, I think it's only a few years before which we catch up to the world stage. At this point, we actually use a bit low nanometer nodes, so hence it's being procured from Taiwan, right? But I don't see any reason as to why we should not be able to have our own GPUs being manufactured in India in the next 5 years.
Right, and when we talk about GPUs and AI, right, NVIDIA is the sort of big brother company that everybody knows. Now, when we talk about GPUs being made in India and what your company does, we know that NVIDIA focuses a lot on training as well. And, how exactly are you looking at it? Because NVIDIA also has a lot of partnerships going with enterprises and digital native businesses here in India.
So the way we look at it is training is a different compute problem. Inference is a very different compute problem. I understand that NVIDIA is trying to solve both the problems using one chip. So the example I gave you, that you can have a Ferrari versus a Toyota Camry. You can take both of them to the grocery store, but a Ferrari is good at a racing store, not to the grocery store. We are building the grocery store which can solve or provide access to 8 billion, right? And also give it the model of example, Android and phones versus iPhone, right? If iPhone was the only one, we possibly wouldn't have seen so much under proliferation. We need Android, and that's something which we're building for the masses so that AI can be more democratic in nature.
Right, great analogies that you sort of charted out there. So what excites you most then about the India market, right, in terms of the opportunity? And right now, where does your startup stand in terms of partnerships and the scale that you have achieved so far?
So the way we look at it is India is going to be a net positive user of AI. We need a lot more AI than possibly most of the Western world, simply because we would need to leapfrog this. Also, I look at this is a bit of generational technology. Think about everything that you see here today has been produced or invented by human beings. This is the first time ever in humanity we possibly have intelligence in a box, and that is possibly going to leapfrog, right? The amount of innovation that is coming out in the next 8, 10 years, 20 years, right? That's where we see, and India, I think, is going to be the leading portion of it. That's the reason why we have headquartered this over here. On the partnership side, we are seeing great responses, to be honest with you. We are working with a few global guys based out of India, like on the Trion stuff. We actually run the state-of-the-art models on audio, video, images, and as well as SLMs, right? We have partnership going with some government organizations. And we are also partnership going on with some big other services organizations. So that's how we look at it.
Okay, and if you were to end with a quick elevator pitch, to either startups or enterprises who can take up your product and work with your hardware, or to potential investors, what would it be at Turiyam AI?
So I think if you look at it, if you're looking for a large base, and don't look at it today's problem statement that you're solving, think about if you have like 5, 10 million users, you're trying to generate 15 images for them, which are 150 million images. Think about the amount of money you're going to spend on it. If you're looking at closed source models, which are going to be super expensive because the switching costs are going to be very high, look for us. If you're looking for open source, if you're looking for very optimized models that runs at scale. And this is for everybody, startups, investors and stuff. We are a very hardcore deep tech company. Most of our guys are basically kernel writers and hardware experts. And that's where we play in. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank you.